Can we talk about this fitness thing? I am chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
To do
I saw just a little tiny bit on your Reddit about something, but I haven't heard any of the details. So I'm kind of curious too.
I've been planning on how to explain the fitness challenge faster and better for people that don't watch every minute of every episode. We have these chest straps. This is the transmitter. This is the strap. It basically measures how far above a certain heartbeat threshold you are, and the longer and further you're above it, the more points you get.
Per minute.
They do this they do that in 9-round too. Like you wear them going into that. I find it really nice for motivating. You're like, okay, well, this is where I'm trying to get for.
Yeah, and it's not exactly per minute, but it kind of is. I could drag it out, but like if you're getting 4 per minute, then it seems like you only need to be in that threshold for 15 seconds. And I always get 1 point at a time. They just come more quickly when I'm at a higher threshold. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we're doing this thing for a month. I don't think we've actually agreed on a stop date, but because we start on the 8th, we probably won't stop November 30th. And whoever has spent the most time in this higher cardio range, then it will win. So, Kyle, do you want to talk about what your day was like and how you're feeling afterwards?
I feel real good. I feel energized. I feel strong. So as soon as the clock rolled over last night at midnight, I started messing with my belt. 45 minutes later, I got it to work. The issue I was having, and there are lots of issues with these things, but the specific issue I was having was my Bluetooth wasn't enabled to accept connections in a certain way. Even though the thing had worked the day before, I guess that setting got reset. In any case, 12:45 a.m., I got started with my first workout, and I basically worked out until 5 a.m., something like that. And got extremely far. I got a lot of MEPs. I don't know, probably 700 MEPs before I went to bed. And then I woke up. I went to bed, like I said, at 5 a.m. I woke back up at 11 a.m. And I figured I needed some food, for I was gonna get hungry. So I got all my supplements into me. I went out. I bought a few steaks and some brown rice. I was running low. Got another 6-pack of Gatorade, and I bought 66 pounds of ice for my ice bath. And I skipped over that. I took an ice bath last night at 4 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning, something like that, before I went to bed. Not that bad. It's not that bad. I put I think 60 pounds of ice in there that time, and just enough water to cover myself. And I only stayed in for 6 minutes, and it wasn't that bad. So. But my second ice bath was much longer. So I got back home and immediately started working.
You don't want to be doing that multiple times a day.
Fuck you. I'll do what I want.
Okay.
So I got home. When my toes turned purple, I know I'm in the zone. So I got home and I continued working out
until my nose goes black and falls off. Then I know.
That's right.
Toes and nose. I'm worried about other appendages here that are hanging off in the middle of that.
So I started working out at about noon, I guess, on my rowing machine. I got to about 8 or 9 miles.
12 hours later, no sleep still?
No. I slept for 6 hours in the night. At 5 a.m. I went to bed, woke back up at 11 a.m., started my day again. It took me about an hour to get showered, get like a protein shake in me, and get a few groceries. Then right back to it. I worked out basically until 6 p.m. We start this at about 7 p.m. And so I was doing something or another for about 6 more hours after that. Lots of consistent yellow, hours of consistent yellow in the workouts. And the leaderboard currently sits at Taylor has 413 MEPs. Chiz has 546 MEPs. Woody has 751 MEPs, and I have 1,507 MEPs.
Oh, that's higher than it is on my screen. Yeah, so my numbers don't jive with Kyle's. I woke up this morning, and on my screen, I was 900 points behind Kyle, 600 points behind Chiz, and 400 and some points behind Taylor. I actually had a really active day yesterday, so I bet if hypothetically it started the day earlier, that would have been like a 500 MEP day. So there was no way I was coming home from that and kicking off a midnight workout. It's a month-long comp. I've got to kick off this thing with sleep. So that's what I did.
So you did the same thing. You went back, grabbed a 6-pack, came back, sat down.
I slept like a baby. I got a good 7.5 hours of sleep after. Really, yesterday was a ball buster too, and then I just all right, got to get my heart rate up. I went out, I kited my wing for hours, I skateboarded for hours, I went for a walk in the woods with Colin. We came back, I skated while he rode his bike, I wore out the boy. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he was going to kick my ass with regards to this. Nope, broke him. So after he went back inside to recover, I got out again. I stopped briefly for lunch. And
Hope, you want to roll?
Yeah, she's at school, and I just went all day. My workouts are not as intense as I think anybody's. I spend some time in the gray and the blue. These are the lower two, and they spend their time in the green, yellow, and I don't know, maybe touch red or something. And
this is for the PKA nude calendar you guys doing this for?
So Joe Rogan did it first. Yeah. He did his for October, and just for some numbers. Joe Rogan acts like 1,000 MEP day is legendary. Like, it's a really big thing. So that's what I had in my head. I woke up 900 points behind Kyle, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I think Joe's biggest days were like $1,000 or something. Maybe someone knows different.
Yeah, I beat Joe's biggest day. That was part of my goal today, was to surpass his best day. I think his best day was like 1,200 or something like that.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't beat his best day, but I don't know. I had a big day yesterday. 750 I thought was a pretty strong start.
I know this is probably going to be overkill for some of your viewers. You probably know the answer to this. Can you roll me back, just slightly go back with me? What was the genesis of this, and what is the goal?
Joe Rogan's podcast. I guess every year they do an October thing. And I think last year it was Sober October, and I don't know if there was more to it than that. This year it was Sober October. This year it was Sober October, and they also wrapped in this thing, and they bought these little MyZone things. There's no sponsorship here. We're not even that happy with them so far. But but it's a way to measure your cardio output. And they at first they all thought that everyone was going to take it like kind of chill, but then one guy throws down, then another guy trash talks, and another guy posts big numbers, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what? If everyone had agreed to coast, I would coast, but everyone had to give 100%. All four guys on their competition ended up amongst like the millions of people that have this. I made up that number, but whatever. They were 0.01%. Like, that's how elite they were over the course of the month. They crushed it, and it turns out that if we keep up a pace like this at all, it's gonna be pretty elite too.
Well, I can guarantee you, Kyle won't maintain this pace.
We'll see. I don't feel sore. I feel pretty fucking good. The second ice bath I took this afternoon was super helpful. I was starting to get a little fatigued, and I was just dripping with sweat, and I was at like 1,000 MEPs. And I put, like, I think I already said, but 76 pounds of ice in the tub, and to the point where like the top layer was just thick ice everywhere. It was like a glass of iced water.
Cracked it to get in.
This is beneficial. What is this doing? Is this keeping your heart rate up as you're bathing?
No. So an ice water bath. An ice water bath draws all the blood out of the muscles that are in the ice water, go into your organs, trying to keep you alive. And in doing so, it pulls all the lactic acid out of those muscles. It pulls all the toxins, anything that's in there out. And when you warm back up after the bath, new blood is going in and helping to repair those muscles.
I'm actually not sure how much of this is real science and how much is bro science, but top athletes seem to be doing it.
I read about it a lot. Yeah, I read about it a lot.
I feel like I wasn't on here that long ago, maybe like a month or 2 months. I don't remember what it's been now, but I think last time you were telling me about the block of cheese you ate each night. So it seems like quite a turn the corner here.
How are the two not mutually?
He'll be heading back.
Ice cream, and then it was like what it did to your bowels, and then like this time it's like.
If you come on the show in 6 weeks, you'll see Cheese Block Kyle again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cheese Block Kyle. I miss my cheese, but now it's competitive Kyle. I want to win this thing because the winner gets a golden championship belt. he gets his MEP device paid for. It was $180. So I'd like to get that done. And we've worked out a few punishments for the losers. I made a post last night, and because I saw people were unhappy with the punishments that we'd come up with, and
let's touch on that.
And there were a lot more punishments that they came up with. One of them that's very interesting, I'll run it by you guys, was wearing a dog shock collar throughout an episode of the show. And I figured the best way to trigger it is on command, you've got to bark.
I could talk about this all night because it's occupying most of my thoughts. The original name for this was No Fucks November, and the idea was that you don't care about anything else. And to me, that is counterintuitive, like no fucks meaning it's the only thing you give a fuck about. But it is the primary thing on my mind right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm enjoying it a lot, and regardless of what punishments are and what rewards are, I'm gonna give it all I've got. And I really I would like to beat Joe Rogan's score. I think that would be
you're gonna
really
crush Joe Rogan's score.
We'll see. You know, maybe in 2 weeks I just fall apart. We'll see. I'm gonna do the best I can. I've been trying to rotate muscle groups and not put so much on any one muscle group. So when something gets sore, I completely switch exercises and go to something else that doesn't activate that muscle group. And then the ice baths, I've got to say, really did help.
You?
Which part?
So I burned my legs today. I used a lot of legs. It seemed like when I needed to get my heart rate up, my legs were my money maker. I did some pull-ups. I can't do pull-ups all that long. Well, it was also like I like being good at pull-ups, so I'm not going to quit those. I did sit-ups. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do some like bicycles and on your back. I don't know what the hell they're called. And I did some crunches and such. And 4 minutes into crunching, I'm like, well, this is just not a 6-hour exercise.
Yeah.
This is not the kind of thing.
Yeah.
I suck almost immediately.
One thing I found is like
something else. Yeah.
While I'm on the rowing machine, I'll row for maybe 10, 15 minutes until like my legs are starting to burn, and I'll max my heart rate out. I'll get up to like 175 or something like that till it peaks in red. If you look at the Imager link, you'll notice that a lot of the screenshots, I'm in the red. And that's because I would go to the red and then take my screenshot and send it to Chiz, because I didn't want to fall below yellow. I wanted to give myself a buffer so that like my heart rate could slowly go down, but not to the point where I was in the green zone where you're only getting 3 MEPs per minute. But what I would do, like when I wasn't taking screenshots and texting Chiz, I've got a roller, like a muscle roller. It's like a giant rolling pin, but it's a little softer, and it's got like knobs on it. And I would like hyperextend my legs, and I would just roll my legs furiously. And I've got the watch that keeps track of my heart rate as well. So I'm just constantly looking at that thing. And anytime I get close to like 157, 158, where I'm almost at that point green, where I go to green, I'm like, whoop, 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 and I go back to working again. I rolled my legs so hard last night that they're bruised.
You rode your legs?
Rolled, like rolling the muscles out with that thing to get to like deal with the soreness.
Damn.
I think I'm going to be a little more consistent. So the things I was doing today weren't great at maintaining a heart rate. Like I was kiting my wing, right? So that's off and on and moving around. I went for a walk, which is really good for maintaining a steady rate, except that we did it through the woods, on trails and stuff. So it was uphill, downhill, and like, I don't know, ducking under trees and stuff. It wasn't a nice, steady thing. Tomorrow I might go more steady and just bust out time.
Yeah.
That's the strategy is like, if you have a ton of time, you don't have to stay in orange or yellow. Like you can just hang out in blue and green. But if you hang out in that zone for even the gray, like for 5 hours, like you're getting a fuck ton.
Yeah, gray's a little low. So like 5 hours is 300 minutes. In gray is 300 MEPs.
Oh, but like you'll get up into blue a good bit, and like green
some time
for sure.
In blue and green,
but blue is easy as shit. Like that's as easy as gray for the most part. If you just hang out right at 60,
yes.
Like because I've fucked around with it a little bit.
I not to be a spoiler. I think tomorrow I'm gonna log a fuck ton of blue time. Let's see if I can back up my words, but we'll see.
I'm gonna do the same thing again tomorrow. I'm gonna try to maintain yellow for 2-3 hours at a time, and just knock out a whole bunch of MEPs.
Yellow's full points, right? Quadruple multiplier.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good. It
Does
just
it
feels
go
like
down
I'm,
again on red?
Say that again.
Red is worthless. Red is
Same as yellow.
even higher. Red is like 90 to 100% of your maximum heart rate, which these things consider to be 190 beats per minute. So it's wasteful to even go to red.
Right.
I only go to red if it's an accident or if I'm trying to like give myself that buffer zone to like do a thing, and while I'm not working out.
Have you
Mostly
ever had a
texting.
false red?
No.
No.
I think I did. Like,
So I got one of these things you guys are using as well. When I signed up for 9 Round, they give you one of these that you wear as you're working out, and it's the same color coding and it's the same BPM stuff that they're
is
looking
it also
at.
called MyZone?
I don't think so.
Because there are
but it
gyms
may
that are
be.
like MyZone partners and stuff that you maybe.
But maybe it is one of those. But yeah. So
I'm a
I
big
got
fan
one.
of it.
Yeah, I got my heart rate way higher than I thought yesterday, or I guess this morning. Like as I was starting to do the bike, like I got off and did some just like some chest press and then some like farmers carries just to see, and like I got up to like 86 with farmers carries. Like your forearms burn like hell and you can't do it for that long. But like I feel like if I chain workouts the right way, I could turn weightlifting into being pretty effective too. Because I definitely want to keep weightlifting throughout this. Like I don't want to just go full cardio. I mean, like I don't have a rowing machine. I don't have any upper body cardio stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I love the rowing machine for this. I feel like it's working enough muscle groups that each one I can do that. Each one's it's diversified between them all, and I can sort of change which ones are being focused on. If my legs start burning, I'm like, all right, well, more like shoulder, like shoulder rolling back, and more like of a curling thing. And if I start getting sore, like around my bicep, like inner elbow area, I just reverse the grip and go to something different. Like I've spent a lot of time and effort trying not to burn any one muscle group out. That's a big fear.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you all only rowed so far, other than jog and row? That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Although like the jogging was nice. I enjoyed that a lot. Like I felt like that was very effective for this. But the rowing was nice because I've got my television right in front of the rowing machine. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of Ozark last night while I did this, and it was good. And I've got my drink right next to me, and like my phone and my vape and everything, and like I've got everything I need right there. It's in a sitting position. My ass is the sorest thing on me just from sitting on the seat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a towel down on that fucking bike.
I've got a towel down on it now. Chiz, like before this thing started, Chiz and I share links, like what the things we're buying, the little devices and such. And he sent me this cushion for your rowing machine chair,
and
I was
collusion going on over there.
And I was like,
strategizing.
what up? I was like, what a pussy.
Collusion.
What up?
Yeah.
Is that your little pussy pillow, Chiz, for your fucking fat ass for this rowing machine chair? Is that your little pussy pillow? I ordered one this afternoon. It will be here tomorrow. Thank God Chiz linked me that. He was 100% right, because like you're doing this sort of rocking motion, so your ass is like rolling back and forth on this hard. It's cushioned, but it's hard cushioning, like a motorcycle seat or something like that. And like 6-7 hours of that, and your fucking ass is sore. So he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Chiz. I don't know what's going to happen with Chiz. Chiz, I'm texting Chiz last night, and I sent him my screenshots, and then
When did he do his workout?
he did a couple workouts, I believe. He did one last night around 3 or 4 a.m.
Okay.
Something like our time,
Both of them
which
super early.
Generally, what I think of as prime workout time.
well, this thing was kicking off. This thing was kicking off, and I'm sharing him. I'm like, I'm going for 500 before I go to bed, and he's like, holy shit, I got to do something. So if you look at his like, and he even said it to me. He's like, I can't hold it in the yellow as long as you can. He falls to green, so he's got like these yellow pillars, and then twice as much green, and then another yellow, and then twice as much green, and then another yellow.
Are you a console gamer at all, Kyle?
PC exclusively, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
PC.
So did any of you guys
wait,
like?
I'm showing the wrong camera. There we go.
No, you're showing this guy. Okay. So have any of you guys thought about any of like the standing desk stuff, or like a treadmill at the desk, or some sort of workout to do while you're gaming?
Yeah, we already invested in that. We did agree that we would not work out during the show because we felt like it would affect the show.
Sure.
But I have an under-desk peddler.
Yeah.
I have one of those. I haven't put it together yet. Mostly because like
I was
all
kinda
this other stuff
teasing
is so
you
good.
on one of the shows about how yours was so expensive and Kyle and Chiz are so silly. Mine's cheap. It sucks. It is so light. You have to like carefully pedal it so it doesn't move all the time you try to use it. It comes with like a bungee or something. You're supposed to mount it to your chair. I haven't done that yet, but
Bolt that bitch to some plywood.
yeah, I
They're-
considered that. That would make it better.
It was a total. Mine was a total waste of $75.
Really?
There's no way. I was like sitting like doing some work at my desk, and I was like, oh, let's give this a go. Just like not even with the
home or at
machine
work.
at work. And this is didn't even have the MEP thing on. This is when it arrived like last week, and I was just giving it a go. And like I have to be sitting this far back from the computer so my knees can like row or a pedal up, and the distance of the pedal isn't like a normal pedal. It's like this. It's a teeny little distance. And so it's pretty much, I have a standing desk. And so I like lifted it up and like stood on it. And now I'm a foot taller, like reaching down at it. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fall on my ass. Like, and I'm doing this. And like, I must have done it for like 2 minutes before I'm like, not only am I not burning calories, I'm going to hurt myself like doing this. And so
And so you're worried about the humiliating punishment that
well, I
comes
was
after.
hoping that like I would get some cheese points like at work sometimes and be able to like, all right, I can roast some stuff out or pedal some stuff out. And like I realized like that's not gonna fucking happen. Like that's just I'm not gonna be able to. Like I'm gonna have to do all my stuff at home or running.
I find that so you get points at 50% of your max heart rate, and while that number is super easy to hit, you do have to be doing something to hit it. Like if I were to say do the dishes, I would be in and out of points. I'd be earning them at a rate of like a MEP every 3 or 4 minutes. It doesn't get you shit. You know, if you want to earn some MEPs, you have to earn some MEPs. Are you wearing it now, Kyle? You're saying you're at 31?
This is during the show, 31 MEPs.
Yeah. Now, it wouldn't be too much for Kyle to hit 50 if he pumped his arms and did a thing, but he'd have to
doing that
try. We agreed not to do it during the show.
We agreed not to work out.
Well, I should put this thing on. I'm probably
strap that bitch on, you know? Like maybe you'll get a little boisterous.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I want to. Oh, and I'm in the blue.
Yeah. Wait, are you in the blue?
Yeah, I'm in the blue, baby. We're earning MEPs. Woo!
Fuck.
Heart rate's 117 right now. That ain't healthy.
All right, so an hour into the first show of the competition, 2 of the 3 hosts have already broken the rule.
3 of the 3.
That-
We agreed not to work out, and I'm not working out. The issue was that working out, like pedaling, would cause a problem for the show. But I'm going to wear the thing all the time.
Well, I
don't see any issue.
That
I don't know why you'd ever
47
take it off.
minutes ago. I think I'm gonna charge mine instead. I'm worried the battery's strong. I shouldn't worry, but I'm worried that it isn't accurate and I'll not get credit for something. That's a big fear of mine. So.
You can overcharge it. I found out last night. So and I was terrified. I had like nuked mine and ruined it. But like, I don't know. I got it to work again. Still in the blue, killing it.
I don't know how you're in the blue. Well, this is not good content.
And just to clarify, just as an outside party, this is a serious competition. You're not just trolling Taylor right now.
No, this is a 100%. This is a very serious.
Because I thought it would be a very, very good joke if this
was
were
very elaborate ruse for me to work out 6.5 hours trying to make Taylor anxious.
It's very high
I was
effort for a
impressed
low
for a
payoff.
Oh, Taylor got so nervous.
So nervous about just being able to say no at the end of the month. Something.
Kyle, how many MEPs have you earned so far during the show?
34.
See, I feel like we need to back 34 off.
Yeah, no.
You were very sneaky.
I think
well,
let's just not wear the devices on the show because like part of it was that even if you're not working out, you're going to be looking at it the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it. Can you put it on someone else during the show? Like, can you hire someone to be doing the same level of workout that you were if you had that time?
If we were cheaters.
Qualifying. Yeah.
Okay, that's not in your rules.
Look, and don't and pay no attention to Ugambe, the African child who's now living with me.
Yeah.
He just needed a place to stay.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm forcing him to run behind my car 4 hours a day. He likes it. He loves cars.
If you see a
He loves
Kenyan
cars. He almost catches it.
if you see a Kenyan doing laps around my block while I fly around, he's not working for me. He's just not.
Mr. Woody, I am very tired. Like,
Please.
I have earned you so many maps. And Woody's like, well, not enough. Give me a hand. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm looking forward. I just want to see, like, the big thing is I've put off, like, getting into proper amounts of cardio for so long. Like, I'm really hoping that this kind of, like, get up early and do cardio trend will become a habit.
Dude,
Like,
I feel
that
so
would
good.
Be so I feel really good right now. And like after, like, when I was going to meetings and shit today, like after I had like did a pretty solid workout on the bike for a couple hours, I was like, man, I don't feel tired. I feel more alert. I feel better. I guarantee by hour 3 of this show, I'm exhausted.
You're going to sleep really well. I slept so well last night. I usually wake up 2 or 3 times in the night. No, fell right to sleep.
And you're 18 hours into day 1 of a month-long competition, right?
Yeah, we absolutely are.
Okay.
I get that. I'm not.
You've never felt better. You're not slowing down. Right? You're living the fucking dream right now. Your body is just telling you that this is working.
I feel energized. I feel
Great
really good.
analysis.
Yeah, like I feel good.
My neck
Yeah.
is cramping from.
18 hours into a month-long competition, you feeling good? Yeah. Well, I just had the first 5 ounces of steak of my 72-ounce challenge, and I'm still hungry. Good for you.
Kyle, I feel like Kyle's smiling, like he knows something we don't, and
I don't even want to call. I'm not even pointing fingers. If you keep this pace up, it sounds absolutely batshit insane to me. If you do that and manage it for the month, and you're still saying that. I mean, for sure, it seems like blind optimism to be expressing like how you feel after 3/4 of day 1.
Kyle was
I'm
never a
not
junior
saying that
varsity athlete. He doesn't know.
I'm not saying that has any bearing on what the month will be. Like I understand that there is going to be a sliding scale with this whole thing, where by the end of the month, like Joe Rogan was literally urinating brown, and he said because his muscles were deteriorating, they're like falling apart, and he's pissing out muscle fiber. Like I get that, like 30 days of this is not possible for someone like me who doesn't have like an acumen of cardio experience or anything like that. However, I do know that I have a lot of willpower and I have plenty of time, and that I will, like, I'll push myself to maybe not get 1,500 a day, because that's literally more than Joe Rogan ever got. But I don't know, 900 a day every day. I don't see why I can't do that.
I want to share this. It's somewhere around 450 MEPs. I had an inner dialogue, and it went something like this. Those fuckers don't know who they're dealing with. I was a good athlete, a cardio athlete. My body responds well to cardio training. I have a really big pair of lungs, and I've just been good at this stuff always. This is a has-been against a bunch of never-wases. Here it comes, bitches. That was 450, right? At 750, I'm like, what is this soreness going to feel like tomorrow?
I'm 45. What was 450, Mep? What are you thinking? That retard. Why didn't you take a break?
Maybe it would have been smarter to earn 450 every day and feel like that every day.
You know, God damn it, I'm only a few years away from getting discounted meals at IHOP. I gotta slow this down.
Yeah.
If I continue a 400 and whatever 13 pace a day, I beat Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like, he only had like 12,000 at the end of the month.
They were
something
very
like that.
proud of their scores. It could be they know something we don't. They may have more than 18 hours of experience.
I think the issue was they had very little time. Or Rogan had very little time to like actually do this, between like doing multiple podcasts a day and having a family of 4 and all the other like financial responsibilities he has, you know, doing UFC stuff. And so when he did go, he went super hard. Like in the 4 hours that he would have, he tried to spend those 4 hours in the yellow, like or 5 like his none of his workouts were like 7 hours. They were all like 4 hours, 5 hours of just intensity.
In their
But that's
recaps, though, they said they all had tons of time. So none of them have regular day jobs like Taylor does, and they all just considered themselves like they could devote all the time they needed to it.
Yeah,
Is what
that's
they
the big
said
thing
about
in this
themselves.
competition. It's mainly about time, which is frustrating, but Like, I really, really want to get third place. Like, I can't tell you how much it motivates me to want to beat one of you.
It's funny.
Who are you predicting?
I'm like,
takes
it's
last
mainly
then,
about
Taylor?
youth.
If you
is
hit
like,
your
it's
goal.
mainly about fitness.
No, it's mainly about time. It's mainly about time and determination more than fitness. Like, if
Who
you're,
do you want to see lose, Taylor, the most?
oh, I don't care. I just want to beat someone. Like, if I get third,
sure,
that's a
sure, but you
huge-
do it. You beat someone, and as a cherry on top, you get to pick who it is.
Ideally, it would be Kyle,
Okay.
but that's not going to happen. Like, I would like beating Kyle would be, don't even make me a belt. I've got plenty of reward. Like that would be the dream, but I don't see
And why is that?
because Kyle is like, he's got the perfect trifecta of it. He's got nothing but time. He's extraordinarily determined with these kinds of things. Like Kyle's going to drop off, my prediction, because of physical need to drop off.
I will.
But his mentality will not drop off. He will be just as into it and dedicated week 3 as he is right now, is my prediction.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as I've been hearing about this, I actually peaked already in my interest in having done something like this. Like, if I were part of this, I'd be like, yeah, for like the first 45 minutes we talked about it. And then we started, and I'd be like, hour 18, like, stopped, went to have beers, decided this was a terrible idea in the first place. We'll maybe devote 20 minutes a day to it. Like, that would be solidly set up for this on me on this
He'll
one.
be earning 30 MEPs a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk to the beer store, and lifting the beer in of itself will put me into the blue. You know, this type of thing. Like,
Well, I had a mean shit this morning. That's right.
yeah, exactly. I worked up. You know, my blood pressure went up. I was straining. You know, like that. That's
You know
enough.
what would be funny to do with this is like wear it and then just like masturbate like Jim Norton, where you just edge yourself for like 6 hours, see how many points you can get.
Yeah.
I bet you wouldn't get very many.
I
It doesn't take that much effort to masturbate.
like I said, I got a young lady coming over in the morning, like around 10 a.m. or something like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I already told, she knows all about this thing, and she's like, I'm gonna work you hard. I'm like, all right, hell yeah, this will be a fun workout. This is one of the, you talk about how, like, if I was playing dodgeball, whenever I played dodgeball in the past, or playing in the swimming pool with some kids or whatever, you go super hard for like 2 hours and you don't even realize you've done it.
Yeah.
Sex is the perfect example of that.
She's gonna be like, I want to get on top, and you're like, no, this is about the competition. Like this is me on top, always doing the thrusting.
Get back in
What
the
was it
swing.
say? I'm back in blue because you had to open your stupid whore mouth. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. I'm also going to use it when I fuck and see how many not calories. Oh, the calories thing on this is nonsense. I don't know where the technology connection is where they can record this kind of stuff, but every device on earth is like, well, you ran for 45 minutes. That sounds like 6,000 calories. Like it's not even close. Like
No,
it told me this morning in 2 hours I burned like 1,800 calories or something crazy.
Is it
No way.
possible they're lumping in BMR?
I don't know what BMR is.
Oh, the basic metabolic rate.
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna burn 2,200 calories a day.
Did it ask you for age and weight when you
It did.
entered
It
this stuff?
did, but
Yeah,
it didn't
did.
mention
Yes.
including that. I'm not sure.
It's almost certainly if it's giving stuff like that, right? And it's not. And is it just a percent? Because Kyle was saying it was like a percentage out of 190 or something for our heart rate.
Yep.
But assuming these are you sure it's that? It's not
No,
adjusted
it's not
for
that
age.
exactly. It is adjusted for age. It's a little
Right.
little lower for me.
Yeah,
to hit my
mine's 190.
targets.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see.
Mine's 191 or something like that. But yeah, like 1,838 calories in 2 hours and 3 minutes. No, like that's not
182.
possible. There's no way. Like you can't burn that many calories in 2 hours. Riding a stationary bike, watching 6 episodes of King of the Hill. It's not possible. Which I'm so glad I found a show that like I like binging again before we started this, because I'm gonna get through all of King of the Hill again. I'm gonna have to find another series to binge. That might be one of the big challenges here. Our bingeable seasons. Kyle, that must be something you're thinking about struggling, because you've watched every season of everything at least once.
I've got stuff.
Brooklyn
I
Nine-Nine is a lot of content there.
I listened to a lot of music today when I ran, and that was really motivating. Like I just had it on like YouTube Shuffle, and like I was kind of running at the pace of the song that was playing. So like all of a sudden, like John Denver, Country Boy, comes on. And it's like a laugh on the farm, da 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 da, and I'm just like, all right, fucking running it up.
You know what I do is I listen to Hitler speeches loudly, so that I can imagine that I am on the equivalent of SEAL Team 6 in 1942, and that I'm the special trained op who's going to take down the Fuhrer. And if I don't hit 400 MEPs on this bike, Holocaust. So that's how I motivate myself.
And you're a history fan, right? You know that happened.
Huge fan.
Presumably you failed.
Yeah.
It's not real motivational.
Damn it. Yeah, I mean, Kyle made a lot of compelling points that episode. But yeah, I'm really hoping to lose at least 12 pounds.
I can't do music while running.
12 pounds in 4 weeks is 3 pounds a week, right? That's a pretty hefty calorie deficit.
Oh yeah, that's like a stretch goal. Like,
Filthy, do you think it's not? I mean, I'm not an expert.
No, I do. I think I wasn't nodding at that. I was trying to think. Yeah, like when you do any of this stuff, have you ever done like calorie counting stuff or anything like that? Like it's pretty common goal is about like a pound a week. Right. And 3 times that is a lot comparatively, but it's certainly doable. Like if you're like insane about it, and Kyle seems like he is going full fucking gung ho for that, then sure, you see it. I don't even think it's supposed to be healthy to lose that much weight all at that amount of time frame, but
I mean, I don't know
a lot about it. So.
I put on like 2 pounds in the 10 days leading up to it, or 7 days leading up to it, because we had a big delay.
Like initially, we were supposed to intake a week in advance. Yes. I don't know that was a great strategy, but I was preparing my body for higher caloric intakes.
I don't think it was a good strategy because I did the same thing. So basically, like it was supposed to be just November, and I got a faulty device that didn't work, and it went from taking like what I thought would be a couple days to like a full week. Like a full week, because obviously we just started today. And so for that full week, since like 2 Saturdays ago, that was the last time I worked out. And I was like, I'm not touching a weight or running or anything so that my heart needs extra, effort to get to that point. And I get those MEPs. And then a whole week went by where I kept saying that over and over, where I was just eating like trash and like I probably gained 2.5 pounds in that week, just eating like shit and not working out. And so that'll make the 3 pounds a week a little easier. Yeah. Kyle, you think you'll lose 15? I'm thinking 12 is my goal if I can hit that many.
I'd be happy if I lost 6.
I could easily lose 20 because like I've matched my diet up to something ridiculous like I always do. A good bit of calories, but it's just protein shakes. It's like a scoop of protein powder, like 2 scoops of that like peanut butter powder, which is just it's like peanut butter, but it's more protein and less carbs. A banana, a little milk to like make it wet, and like some ice cubes, and I put like cocoa powder in there, which has 0 calories. It's just like flavoring and antioxidants, I suppose, if you believe in that sort of thing. And I think that's it. I think that's all that's in there. And I mix up a big batch of it, so I've got like 2 shakes worth, and I pour myself one, drink it down, put the rest in the fridge. I've had 3 of those today, and I'm full. I'm gonna have a steak after the show, though.
Are you guys pre-workout? Like, are you using that?
No, I've got no pre-workout. All of my supplements have to do with lactic acid and cardiovascular health.
I own pre-workout, but today all I had was whey protein.
Yeah, I used pre-workout this morning, and it really helped. Yep, so, just tweeted something about him working out, so he's doing it.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, he's not allowed. He's not allowed.
No. I was teasing because Woody said he's not allowed either, but like I think he's allowed to. Like,
yeah, of course. Like the only reason we said that is like we had those pedalers under desk, and we suggested, hey, what if we pedaled during the show and saw if we could pedal for an entire show? And they were like, no, that'd ruin the show. I'm like, all right, well, we won't pedal during the show.